And welcome back to another episode of the Convoluted Podcast. It's your host, Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, and I'm here with Liz.
Hey!
And if it's your first time listening or watching, you can always follow or subscribe. Free, you can always unfollow or unsubscribe. Liz, how has your week been?
It hasn't been too shabby. It's been pretty good week, pretty mellow. I mean, there was a little uptick of something, and then just kind of chilled out for the rest of the week. It's been good. How was yours?
Well, I'm just
3 days.
Hey, you gotta take those mini vacation when you can. I'm just like I said, I'm finishing up my mini vacation. I did some cleaning, as you know, and just kind of organized the taxes. It is time for taxes for the Americans and anyone who has to do American taxes. So got those done and all that. So basically I got my adulting done. Not a really lot of fun stuff done, sadly. But I did get to enjoy seeing some films. If you saw, I posted some new reaction cast reviews for Madam Web. There's not going to be a review for the movie I just saw last night, or at the time of this recording last night, though, because there's not really a need to be a review for that. And then, yeah, just kind of been enjoying food and stuff like that. I messaged Liz, like, you know how people are trying to get their, like, dietary goals for the new year and all that fun stuff. Like, yeah, it's not working. There's just so much good food, going out and stuff like that. But
I feel like Fridays have been, like, my day of splurging, like, drinking and food. That's it.
Yeah, my brother's similar. He's really going gung-ho on a diet change a little bit, and he's been like dying for like some pizza, but he's holding himself to a point, kind of like yourself, no alcohol to an extent, and until the weekends, just kind of doing that, which is not bad. If you do it right, it's not impossible. So definitely. Like we said on the show, you shouldn't like rush through things. Definitely, I wished I did it sooner, but yeah, first definitely like give or take, I've been sorting out at least dietary things a little bit more. So come March, I'll probably have a more not going on a diet, but just like fixing my diet. Go with that, like what I'm eating and stuff like that for a couple months to go from there. Just things like that.
March rolls around, it's gonna go out the door for me.
True, you like I'll fix my diet. Liz is on a whole new adventure.
Yep.
Yeah, and talking about March, I've talked to a few people, so we're gonna be having a few guest hosts, and Liz will be taking a little hiatus while she's away. But we've also recorded. Yes, we did it. If you didn't catch the end of the last episode, we talked about it. I hope you guys enjoy the studio recording. It was a little bit scuffed. That's just our first time recording audio and the like. It didn't sound that bad, but definitely it's a work in progress. So we do apologize. One of those things studio recording is going to be one of the things when we can, we'll do it. Not like every day, like every episode is going to be a studio recording. If we could, we would. I think it's enjoyable to do it in person. You get a little bit more banter. And there's no lag. And definitely some people made comments of how did you watch a little bit of the episode?
I didn't get a chance to. I haven't had the time to sit down and chill out.
So I did it with the wide shot of us on the couch just talking, and then kind of transitioned into our traditional squares and stuff like that. And some people liked the transition. Some wanted us to just stay in the chair format, the casual. I'm like, we enjoy your feedback. It's one of those things like definitely, feedback helps. And we kind of, it was not really last minute, but it was not the best setup. It's one of those things. We're not a professional podcasting studio. We're doing everything to the best of our abilities. And we use what we can, and it worked for the most part. Like I said, we're learning when it comes to things like this. We've been doing this for 6 years, but it's at the end of the day, it's a hobby for us. But we enjoy your feedback. We do, and your comments. So, keep them coming. We'll hear it. We'll hear it. But yeah, like I said, we're going to have some bonus episodes. Those are all fun and the like. We had some fun with those. Liz was tired. We'll say that for sure. She was tired of recording those. But
oh man.
But yeah, those. But they were fun overall. I think they were fun. I think they'll be enjoyable too. I just have to edit them. That's the fun thing about those types of those. Those are more edited than the ones than these are. But yeah, that's about it. Anything else you want to, before we jump into some of these weird news stories?
Oh, I think we're good. Let's start into these weird stories we got here.
All right, go ahead, Liz.
Dunkin' now selling caffeinated energy drinks.
Damn.
Does this sound familiar? It feels like deja vu, doesn't it?
It sounds like a company has not learned from other companies. Yep.
No, apparently not. With the addition of a new energy drink to its menu, you can really run on Dunkin'. The coffee chain's new caffeinated energy drink, Sparked Energy, comes in 2 flavors, Berry Burst and Peach. Dunkin' said the drink is made with vitamins, minerals, and a kick of caffeine. According to Dunkin's website, a large drink has 192 milligrams of caffeine.
So, kind of like an energy drink, just a traditional energy drink. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait, how big of
this comes to Dunkin'?
Yeah, that's all. I'm just looking. I'm just doing kind of the math. That's kind of what a regular energy drink is. Yeah. Okay.
No idea. I haven't had an energy drink in a hot minute.
Those are our light.
Coffee's been my go-to lately. This comes as Dunkin's rival. What do you want to say?
No, you're fine.
Me, man.
No, you're fine. I'm trying to get the nutritional fact. I want to know what a cup of coffee is caffeine. An average cup of coffee.
All right. This comes as Dunkin's rival, Panera, faces legal troubles over its caffeinated energy drink relating to its high levels of caffeine. The Food and Drug Administration said a healthy adult can safely consume 400 milligrams of caffeine a day.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So, how much caffeine do you think an average cup of coffee would be? Okay. I would say what would you do? You drink like a 12, 16 ounce kind of cup of coffee?
Maybe I'm more closer to the 20 ouncer, probably.
Give me a second.
Maybe.
Let me change that. I think this has an option for that.
It might be. I don't know. I might.
We'll say 20 ounces. Okay. Oh. So how much do you think caffeine is in that?
About 300.
For 20 ounces, you are sitting at roughly 250. It's an energy drink.
Okay.
So yeah, you're drinking an energy drink worth of caffeine.
Does it stick? No. Am I tired? Always.
No, you're probably drinking so much caffeine that you just need, your body's already used to that level of caffeine.
I know.
You gotta drink more. Yeah. Continue. Oh, that's it?
That's it. That was the end of the article.
Okay,
but
just kind of.
I think they haven't learned from somebody else's mistakes.
Definitely, it's one of those things like you should be learning from previous people's mistakes. It's like you learn from your own mistakes or you learn from others' mistakes, right? That's kind of been my general philosophy when it comes to like things of that nature. Because if you see someone trying to push a rock up a hill and they keep failing and you're wondering why they keep failing, and you see them doing it over and over and you watch them, like, why would you do the exact same thing? You know?
There's better ways. The roll of that rock. But yeah, I just still don't understand how they've not learned. I mean, I guess they're ready for those lawsuits unless they're having it behind the counter.
that's the other thing. That's kind of what happened with Panera. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, can you explain what happened with Panera?
Panera was actually charged with 2 death lawsuits. One was a person of special, and the other one was just a fluke, I guess you could say. It was very young, fluke, too much energy, and they both died from drinking too much of it. It was easily refillable, so think about it, guys. Just go right up to the machine, refill multiple times, and both those people, there was way too much caffeine they had consumed by the time they finished it up, and hence why they're no longer with us. But yeah, that is why they are not here with us, and that's why the lawsuit's there, because they were refillable in front of the counter and not behind the counter where it was inaccessible, but it was very accessible, and multiple drinks were refilled on those, and yeah, that's what happened. And hopefully Duncan will realize to keep it behind the counter so it's not as refillable. So.
Definitely, it's one of definitely it's we are in an age in a generation where energy drinks and the like are the norm, right? It is the lifeblood of people. Like I jokingly say, like, that's how we survive at work. It's like we drink energy drinks to basically get through the nights. It's a half joke, but it's the truth. It's like we have a lot of people who, at least in my team, that work multiple jobs, and they are drinking these things just to make it through the days. And one of my old like leads from years ago, what he would do before it was more, because for the most part over the years things do get regulated, things get fixed and stuff like that. But years ago, one of the old leads at the time, what he would do is, like, you know, those NOS drinks, those blue cans.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah, those.
Are they still around?
They're still around. They still, no offense, but they do not taste great. So what he would do is he would get that, mix in a 5-hour energy, and throw in 2 caffeine pills.
Oh, Jesus. I feel like that's a heart attack waiting to happen.
Well, what ended up happening was he developed a heart arrhythmia, so he could no longer drink those anymore. So the thing is, it's not impossible to live with that, but the thing is, like I was joking with Liz, it's one of those things where your body gets accustomed to certain, like, chemicals to a certain extent, where then it craves more and more to do anything, because you can only take so much caffeine to stay awake, you can only take so much melatonin to fall asleep, to the point where, like, your body just needs more of it to get what the job done.
And hence melatonin, you quit producing it, and then you do have to rely on it.
Be a melatonin junkie.
Well, I'm serious. Your body naturally produces it, so, you know, eventually your body's gonna be like, I can't, well, I'm already getting it somewhere else. I don't need this. I don't need to produce this.
So definitely, it's one of those things where companies are trying to make money no matter what. They will always be making money. So I don't really see a reason to bash on. The thing is, I hope that Dunkin' Donuts learns a little bit from their mistake, you know?
Look at that shit.
Because it has already caused, or been potentially the cause on some deaths from the Panera incidents. So you know, we got to really be careful about what that is and stuff like that, because we're not telling you not to drink energy drink. If that's how you're surviving, you know, it is what it is. Take it as, because there's no way you're not going to survive in this world, this economy without it, right?
I'm as spicy as
remember, you got to work 5 jobs and to make ends meet, and
fuck me, right?
Our boomer grandparents think we're not doing our jobs.
Right? Man. Actually,
our lives, y'all. Go ahead.
Actually, there's an article about this. There it is. business and the last one. So, talking about people, things like that nature. So, a CEO is actually facing some backlash after an influencer said he used his company's Instagram account to attack her.
Oh, no bueno.
I know, right?
Man.
So
do your job and you get harassed.
And what she got harassed for was the funny part. So
oh God.
So an entrepreneur, a paper entrepreneur, has faced backlash and seen his company reviews tank after he left a critical comment on an influencer's Instagram page using his official business account. Food and travel influencer Rupi Sudan posted on TikTok at the end of January describing what she felt was an old experience with parchmentpaper.com. Sudan said she posted a video of her and her dad cooking together and seen a comment that she felt unwarranted. Must be a tough life living on easy mode. That's what the comment said to her. So let me double check. Wait, let me double check. Okay, so it doesn't describe the TikTok. So the TikTok, I saw the TikTok. So the TikTok is her kind of gifting her father some like really nice pots and pans, and then cooking dinner together because she wanted to give her father, who loves to cook, something nice, right? And so she's
that's nice.
And so let's continue. Knowing if it was a joke, Sudan replied saying that she was lucky she had parents who made her. So she responded. She was saying she was lucky he had parents who made her life possible. And then the comment wrote back, "Yeah, we get it." Another comment, "You got no skills and and family money," implying that, she's just living off her parents.
A freeloader. Wow.
Sudan was shocked because the comment came from the official company Instagram page for the website parchmentpaper.com. She then assumed that it had been hacked, so she emailed the company CEO, Brandon Howard, to let him know. So that was nice, actually. Like, oh, someone must have used their account to attack people, That's actually considerate of some people. And then she said, "I'm like, hey, I think somebody on your business account is leaving cyberbullying comments," she said, and then got an email from the CEO. Can I play this? Let's see. Oh, here it is. Everyone, you can listen to this.
I posted a video yesterday of my dad cooking for me with these hex-clad pans that we had gotten. There was a comment on there where the person goes, "Must be tough living a life on easy mode." I also didn't think the comment was rude at first, so I responded with, "Lucky to have parents who make it possible." And they responded, "Yeah, we get it. You have no skills and family money." And at that point, I'm just like, okay, what the hell? Like, maybe this account is hacked, because from a business account, that seems kind of weird. So I send them an email and I'm like, hey, like, I think somebody's on your business account, like, leaving cyberbullying comments. Didn't say anything else. That was it. And then I get an email from the CEO of parchmentpaper.com, and he says, "I don't consider stating factual information cyberbullying. If you're offended over a comment about having no skill set while getting to frolic through life with family money is bullying, I'd call the cyber bully police, delete the comment, and move along. Cheers. Brandon Howard." How sweet of you to include founder and CEO in all of your information, actually. Thank you.
Okay, as Liz is finishing up listening to it, yeah, so it's wild for you guys to listen to her. Like, some people don't have tact. So let me continue reading the article a little bit. According to Howard, responded to her email not in a way she was expecting. He doubled down, as you guys heard. He said that he didn't consider stating factual information as cyberbullying. And if Sudan was offended, she would call the cyber police. That's what she read. Delete the comments and move on. Cheers. To hear. Shocked by the crazy response, Sudan told business editor that she was in shock at the response after assuming that she had been doing the company a favor. I remember reading that and just being like, wait, what? She told business editors that she said Howard why she thought she was that spoiled trust fund kid, but that just led him to triple down on his attack. Howard said she left another comment on her Instagram ridiculing her for emailing him and said it was hilarious, enjoying frolicking through life and leaving the rest up to the adults who created actual economy value without a trust fund, he wrote. Sudan then said that she didn't know whether to laugh or be angry. So kind of we can continue in a little bit, but yeah, that's kind of the gist of the story. What are your thoughts on this, Liz?
That's absolutely freaking crazy. Like, wow, somebody's unhappy. Let's go poke at somebody else. But what I gathered, this person, their parents are the American dream. They made it from what was the bottom of the road to making somewhat of a decent life for themselves. I mean, like a mud hut to actually having 4 walls that are not made of mud. So, I mean, wow, that's just crazy. Like, they had all that time in the world to go and cyberbully and then make fun of the cyberbullying. Like, hey, whatever, move on, you know?
Yeah, some people. Yeah. This Brandon character definitely is a wild one. I don't know what's his problem. Because for one, I've been on the mentality of if you have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all. But sometimes, like some people have to be like, definitely slap some words, like yeah. But mostly on a comment that's not even for one factually true, as you mentioned here, and you know, and on sometimes like we've seen stories, we've talked about people who are definitely, we sometimes feel like way like wow, they are making so much money for X amount of reasons and stuff like that. And there are definitely people out there who
you're a CEO, you're definitely making billions. And last name Howard.
Well, I don't know if he's going to be making millions selling after what happened here, because apparently now this is what kind of the internet backlash. So this incident shows how quickly comments and arguments on social media, because it's all public, right, can spiral out of control and inflict reputational and economic damage. The company's leader misbehaved on social media has become more common in recent years, with HBO CEO ordering employees to troll TV critics who gave the network shows poor reviews, and head of AI app laying off most of its staff, then bragging about it. Yeah, we kind of briefly talked about the whole HBO attack mob thing that happened a while ago. Then the latest incident, however, has struck a chord with viewers. Sudan's video amassed 2.3 million views and generated thousands of comments where people expressed disbelief. The email is wild from a CEO, one person wrote. Another is, who hurt this man? Are they a publicly listed company? One commenter asked. I would, if I was an investor and my CEO acted like this, I would be calling for a vote of no confidence. Why is a parchment paper company picking a fight online? Some viewers also brought their comments to Trustpilot and left negative reviews, and causing the company's ranking to tank to 1 star. The page is currently locked and new reviews cannot be added. The top review, entitled "Very Disturbing Customer Service," and Howard needed for his PR representative. His obtuse grasp on customer service, public relations, and optics is frightening. That's absolutely disgusting concerning behavior. Sudan provided an update a few days later, saying that she has received more emails from Howard, this time asking her to take down her video and threatening legal actions. I believe this. What are your thoughts just hearing that?
It's public. You made it public. Don't put things out there if you don't want it to come backlashing at you.
Exactly. She said, I don't believe it's defamatory because I have proof of your name and saying all these things. Sudan later posted another update sharing a screenshot of another email telling her to remove her videos. Oh, here we go. I'm going to press play.
more viral than I thought it would. Honestly, I was just sharing my experience with what happened from a comment on a business account that was on my profile. Just because you deleted the comment doesn't mean it didn't happen, because I still have screenshots, timestamps, everything with your name on it. But I do want to say that I don't really appreciate people sending them death threats. That's never okay. But having said that, they did send me a legal notice. It came from info@parchmentpapers.com, and it says that they are really worried about the safety of their team, and if I don't remove the defamatory posts on TikTok, they will be taking legal action, which I don't believe it's defamatory, because I have proof of your name saying all of those things. All I said was I was trying to be a nice person and look out for your company. I thought you were hacked, because nobody in their right mind would leave those comments from a business account, but you did, and you continue to take it further and tell me that bring no economic value to this society or economy or whatever. So yeah, like, I don't believe it's defamatory. I also don't believe you have a legal department, because you signed it incorrectly. It says legal department at parchmentpapers.com. You forgot the dot.
So, yeah. It's one of those things where some people are now getting too accustomed to, because people are speculating that he probably used a template or an AI to write it, because when she showed some of the screenshots of the email, the template for where you insert name here, insert business here, was still left on that thing.
Oh shit. Wow. Somebody needs to go back to school and learn how to fill their stuff in. It's like how you're learning to color, you color within the lines, but apparently you missed that coloring.
So oh shit, something's wrong with my... 1 second, everyone. Something... That was weird. My web browser just closed on me.
Ah, weird.
But anyways, we've got, for the most part, we got the gist of the thing. He definitely deserves most, but not all, the hate he's getting. Definitely, like you said, death threats and the like is a little too excessive. But definitely he should be, when you would think, when you were a kid going into going into the adult world, you would think most people would be adults in the world, right? Like,
act like an adult.
But the second we really enter the world, it's just like another level of just shiggainery and all that shit. There's people on themselves or looking out for themselves or doing stuff and just pushing people around. It's not that. And if any people listen to this are younger people, I don't know why you're listening to this, but thank you. But it's one of those things. It's one of those things where, yeah, it's definitely, it's the second you enter the adult world, it's not any better. Like, you're still it's like a high school 2.0. There's still clicks. Mm-hmm. There's still clicks. Mm-hmm. There's still people talking behind people's backs. There's still, there's people pushing people around. There are. It's just, instead of in a closed up high school, it's now the world.
Yeah, I know, right? And some people have not grown up, and that's just sad part. It's just like it, and I felt like that from our last job together. It was like, it felt really that way. You weren't at a certain level, you didn't matter. You didn't care. You were just another number on the docket.
Emotional damage.
I mean, granted, my workplace is a lot better nowadays, and I really appreciate that. But yeah, it's crazy.
Kudos to Plutos.
Crazy how we've not grown up, and we haven't moved beyond that.
I don't think we are. That's kind of how society is. We're just too big of a group now. We're just too spaced out. We just can't have any real cohesion. I don't think. Like, you can have some level of cohesion within small communities and stuff like that, but the second you start building out and further, you just start losing that cohesionness. We can't be perfect. We're not perfect. You can only do your best within the confines of yourself and the people around you, and that's the best way you can do it. That's the only way you can survive in this world. And then, but this is where then adding the level of social media gets wild, because definitely Liz is on social media, but not on it. She's a viewer, not a maker, as far as social media. The closest thing she makes on social media is this podcast.
Yeah, literally.
So
I show you my dinner, my food. That's about it. And I show share things, and
maybe a photo or two, right, on Instagram, stuff like that. That's the most of that. But yeah, for me, I'm more in the weeds of stuff, because this is the stuff that I watch, I create, and I I take in, whatever. Yeah, I consume this type of media. Like, I'm in it, so I can let Liz know what's happening a little bit. Because if it didn't, then we wouldn't have some of the stories we do have, right? But it's adding that next level of the world of social media that it gets really, really bad. Because sometimes you would never, like, a person from like Istanbul can be yelling about this podcast being garbage. I'm like, wow. Some random person in Istanbul just like found our show and hates us. No offense to anyone who, if they're listening from Istanbul, it's just like, you can never know. There can be a person from anywhere in the world just randomly find the show and just hate us or love us. And that's the positive and negative thing about the show. And like, the other thing is, like, people can take offense and to anything we say too, just because people have their own opinions, and that's all in good. And you can either take it in strides or ignore it all you want. It's one of those things where, depending on how people react, that's what really matters, right? But in this situation with this individual, definitely mostly using a business account, your own company's account. That's what, like, why ruin?
Why would you do that? Exactly. Honestly, I still question that. Like, why don't you just get on your own and do your own shithole right there? You didn't have to drag your company through the mud through it.
And now he's suffering for it, and he's blaming her for his company's reputation, which at this point, no, it's his own fault. He did this to himself. And I'm not really, I don't really feel bad for him at all. He might be losing numbers. He might be, being reduced to low reviews, low customer count. But, that's his own fault. That's his own fault, right?
Do it on your own personal, private Insta. Don't put it on your company's website. Company did not want to be involved with your drama.
Yeah, it's his company, so he failed. He messed it up. So
yeah, he fucked up.
So yeah, that's his own problem. All right, let's. I think we've had enough of that story. What do you want to? Is there a story that popped up that kind of you want to talk about, or you want to talk with privilege? And there's a story about people's privileges.
Well, there's this one I do like, the one you posted about 2 stories above it, the landlords. But we could talk that towards the end if you like.
Yeah, we can do that last. Let's do about the privilege, the prankster one. Continue with like social media and stuff of that nature.
Which one again? I'm sorry. Oh, the prankster. Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you get
it. Or do you want to read it?
You get it.
Okay. Hold on, it's loading. Prankster suspended from 20,000 a year school after he drenched boaters with milk in a viral stunt. And I'm just a kid. You ruined my life.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts hearing that?
Okay, so a kid got suspended. Viral milk, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Ruined somebody's life, maybe? I don't know.
No, read it again.
Prankster suspended from 20,000 a year school after he drenched voters with milk in a viral stunt. I'm just a kid. You ruined my life. Okay. I guess I'll find out what it means.
But still, 20K a year. 20K a year.
Damn, I know, right? kid. Wow.
Oh, there's a picture right there.
I'll have to look at it. Come down.
Just scroll down.
There it is. Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I can see what's happening now. Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
What goes around, and this kid found out quickly. I feel like you fuck around, you're gonna find out, kind of thing. A young prankster was suspended from his $20,000 a year school amid a weeks-long investigation after he drenched a group of women with milk during their boat ride on January 27th. A 16-year-old unnamed Australian boy was handed a combination of suspension and other punitive action, reparation, apologies, and counseling. In the wake of the viral stunt, which was viewed for more than 32.6 million times, according to the Herald Sun. All right, damn. We continue to the film view that this behavior was completely unacceptable and have treated the matter the utmost seriousness. Melbourne Grammar School said.
Melbourne.
Melbourne. Did I say? Okay. The boy uploaded footage of the viral act under his Instagram account, Giddy No Kitty.
Oh God!
What?
Once
that
again,
is a weird name. Giddy No Kitty.
Australians, if you ever heard Australian slang, you would understand. I've heard enough Australian slang. That's normal.
Okay. As he showed himself dumping of milk on top of the four women while they were on a go-boat ride on the Yarra River.
So for anyone wondering, a go-boat is kind of like you get to enjoy a rental boat as they have like wine and then kind of a charcuterie board style thing. So it's like a nice boat ride as you enjoy all this stuff.
It almost reminds me of the place I want to go up in Seattle where they do like jacuzzi boats.
Kind of like think of it like that.
Okay. One of the prankster's alleged victims who posted a video just moments after they were struck said the group was celebrating a friend's birthday. You book a go boat on your friend's birthday, and some kid on the bridge above us pours a whole bottle of milk on us.
What do you thought is that's what was your birthday? You were like, oh, you're with your friends and celebrating, and then some kid just drenches you guys with milk.
Oh hell! I'm gonna be going to hell to finding that video and slamming around. That's my birthday. It was my birthday already. It's not even started yet.
That or your friend's birthday too. Your
Yeah, I would never like that's my friend's birthday. Fuck. I'm gonna punch up some people. No. That's not good. One of the prankster's alleged victims who posted a video just moments after they were struck said the group was celebrating a friend's birthday. Oh, sorry. My bad. Repeating myself. The short clip shows a picnic table. The women were sitting with fruits and snacks covered with milk, and someone who had been heard saying, we're actually going to stink. No kidding.
Let's see. Here's audio from that TikTok. Give me a second, everyone.
So you're going to stink.
Oh, never mind. It's playing audio. I'm playing music. I don't know if I can play that music, so I'm not playing that music. Continue.
Sorry, this article is giving me all sorts of problems.
It's fine. I'm trying to avoid there was audio playing. I can continue. Would like to find out that kid that ruined our day. Burgess captioned the videos. One of Burgess' friends is seen trying to shake the milk out of her Bluetooth speaker. So that's what the music is in the background. Of the milk that had landed on the group. Recognized how far he's might have gone. The boy allegedly told others in the video that since been deleted on TikTok, stopped sending videos of him in a foul act to his school before he was ultimately expelled. So he's been expelled. So he said, please stop contacting my school. My school has caught me and I'm facing expulsion. Can't believe you guys would do this to a minor, the boy wrote. Melbourne's grammar school, founded in 1858, prides itself as being one of Australia's leading independent schools in the country. That school's website said. The school, that's where it mentioned how much it costs for them. So what are your thoughts on these No, it probably wasn't the women. People just showcasing to the school, hey, look at what your students is doing. What are your thoughts on that? Kind of going back to what happened to the CEO a little bit.
I don't care if you're a kid. There's repercussions. There are consequences for your actions. Are we completely ignoring this as a globe? Like, hell, well, you're a kid. Okay, we'll give you some leniency. No, you have to understand there's consequences. And I mean, it's just like the high school I went to, there was always consequences. If you did something that you were not supposed to do, you were kicked out, expelled, whatever, or asked to leave. You were not allowed to stay. I mean, that just happened. I mean, kids who caught smoking, kids who wind up pregnant. I mean,
and that's just the things that were visually possible. And because what's happening nowadays, it's social media's around. People are posting these things on purpose, and that's why people are getting caught. Imagine if social media was more heavily when we were that age. Like, we were just on the infancy of that. Like, I was posting small clips and stuff on like the MySpaces and stuff like that. But even then, you weren't really viral there. You just had your friends and family and stuff like that, or even MySpace just friends and stuff like that. But anyways, besides the point, like definitely we would probably be in more trouble. I would say I would be if some of the stuff I got around with that I posted online, because of how like shit of kids we were, you know. I wasn't as bad as others, but definitely I'll probably get a couple good lectures here and there. What about yourself?
Yeah. Well, the stuff I participated, I was pretty much harmless. It was more damage to me than to other people, if anything. But what my brother did, yeah, there's some of the shit. So he would definitely get it.
Exactly, and think about it. Then, if your brother grew up in this age, you think he would be the type of person who would like, yeah, like check this out and be posting?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, and then
I don't know.
The
consequences absolutely would be astronomical. I mean, it's just bound to happen. I mean, yeah.
So now we're
they did it this day and age. There would have been some definite repercussions. So
yeah, like I said, we're at that point now where you are being you're the one that's posting it online to get some clout and to get those views. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to get these couple 100,000 likes and views to get then barred from your school, which probably your parents are paying literally a hefty amount of money. Like, yeah, for
the $21,000 to $28,000, depending on the grade. Woo!
Like,
that's like a third of what I make, y'all.
So, and that's just tuition.
That's not including uniforms, books.
Oh, that's boarding and tuition, but that's still something. Like you're hoping you're sending your kid to a place that they're gonna learn and be a highly functional member of society, and then where's all your money really going to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is he getting what he deserves? Yes. Is he exaggerating? A little bit. Definitely. The thing is, like, ruining someone's outing,
birthday, celebration, anything. I mean, that's ruining it. You know, what happened to have been a funeral they were doing like a after party thing, you know?
There's a word. I'm trying to think of the words. There's something that I want to say. Like, just what's the words that I want to say? Just
I don't know.
Just being I think the best way I can say just being a negative influence in the world and thinking that's not gonna come back at you. That is where you're wrong. I think that's the best way I can put it. I know there's better words I can say, but it's not coming to me at the moment. But is it ruining his life? No, it is. It is putting it back a couple steps because you have lost a an advantage you had in the world. Your parents gave you an advantage and you squandered it. So definitely, did it ruin it? It only ruins his life if he doesn't make an effort to move forward with it. I think that's the best way I can put it. You can agree or disagree with me on that.
I absolutely agree. If you're given an advantage point and you, absolutely squander it, then you're screwing yourself over. That's your own prerogative, not your parents. Your parents gave you basically the keys to success, and you took those keys and you chucked them into the river. Like, is it really your parents' fault? No, it's your fault. You took those keys and you said, "No, fuck this. I got opportunities coming my way, left and right." No, you don't. You were given one. You can't just go and say, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm good." No, you're not. You need to take advantage of what you're offered, and you need to use it wisely and not do stupid shit like this. Yeah, milk is going to definitely spoil a nice hot sun. Oh, yeah.
God, yeah. I feel so bad
for them. And speakers, oh God, I'm surprised they're not coming after them financially, going, "Hey, you ruined our outing. You owe us, whatever. I don't know how much money for that boat and the food involved. I mean, and the stuff that was ruined because of it.
Overall, they just
to get out of your clothes.
Definitely, it ruined their outing. Okay, let's continue the story that caught Liz's eye. So this is for some of our over the seas people. So landlords are enforcing a no sex tenancy clause now. So we spoke with two renters who have been targeted. Tennessee. Sounds like Tennessee.
I know.
Tennessee.
It's like, I know it's like tenants, but like, you know what I mean?
Give me a second.
Tendency.
Let me see. Let me Google this really quick. I want to hear it. Google lets you hear the word.
Tenancy.
Okay,
I was close.
Tenancy.
Okay. Thank you, Google. Okay. Landlords are enforcing a no sex tenancy clause now. There you go. Picture this. You just moved to London and finally get your own place. It's the first time you're, like so many people would love that, right? At this time. It's your first time you're living without your parents. You found a cute room in a central location, and your flatmates don't even seem like freaks. There's just one problem. Your landlord won't let you have sex. Yes, really. That is, just hearing that, just wild.
Hey, you're renting. No sex on my property. These people know, unless they're putting cameras in. Are they putting cameras in there?
As far as the U.S. is concerned, I like places like I think we talked about Airbnb.
I know has
we talked about this. Airbnb can't have cameras in bedrooms and restrooms, but they can still have them anywhere else in quote public areas like kitchens, dining room, and living rooms and hallways, which is fine. I think I even said it when we brought this up that I think that's fine because you are giving your place to quote renters / visitors who are taking your place for a time. And you still want to be safe about it, right? And I think that's fine to have that level of security. Not to go to the extreme where it's like you have cameras every inch. Like if you have a camera facing a direction, I think that's fine. But going back to it, I don't know what the UK laws are, but at least as far as the American law, you're not supposed to have cameras in bedrooms or bathrooms. So this is what happened to Lucy, 23, who, like everyone else in this piece, is using a pseudonym for privacy reasons. After moving into a shared house with 3 other girls, she started to notice signs in the communal areas banning music after 11 p.m. That sounds all right. House parties, okay, and critically, loud sex. Brits are no strangers to outrageous landlords, but even this takes the piss. We've watched as landlords have passed off single rooms as entire flats. What? That's ridiculous, actually. Become influencers who vlog their evictions and even charge their tenants for having friends over. Just when you thought they couldn't sink any lower, they come up with a new way to ruin your life. No tenancy clause. Lucy says she found it funny at first. I thought, how are they even going to police that? But the landlord does not inspect himself and actually does inspect himself, and he actually mentions it when he visits. She tells Vice, we're all girls, and he starts lecturing us about youth of today. Oh, one of those people being hypersexual and telling us to save ourselves from marriage. Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it sounds you had this face that you wanted to say something.
Really? Like they weren't from the period of love is love. Come on. There's now more protection out there. There's more preventative stuff. But at the same time, it's kind of human nature. Like, come on. Grow up. Like, really? You can't police somebody else's body.
Oh,
What they
Liz.
do with it, when they do it.
Okay, obviously Lucy's sex life or that of her flatmates is literally none of his business. That's exactly what you said. But there's not much she can do about it. This room was a steal, and it's so hard to find a place these days. It's creepy, but it's just something it's going to have to put up with. What are your thoughts with that statement, Liz? Is that
I mean, nobody should be able to put up with it. Yeah, I understand. Like, you have a steal, but like, so what happens? What happens is these girls decide to get married and they bring in their partner and they can't have sex then? Like,
wait?
intimacy is part of the marriage. Or,
So no,
you know what I mean?
so think about it. At least for their situation, it's a place 4 people share. So
I know. That's single, yeah. And yeah, that's gonna happen.
so
Whether
more,
we like it or not.
so
I mean, these
more
things
than
just happen. That's
yeah. So the thing is, like in yours, because you just threw a hypothetical where you said if they find a partner, get married, more than likely they'll get kicked out because they're not supposed to have another individual. That's not part of the probably another clause that you can't have another individual. So there's that. So
yeah.
so that hypothetical kind of goes out the window. That's why I'm like, I want you to be a little bit more clear when it comes to things of that.
I know, but it's crazy. How can they just say like you can't do this or do that? It's like,
Because that they can
okay,
do
I can
it.
understand parties. I can understand music after a certain time. I mean, my own place here, we can't be loud beyond 10. So I totally get it. Like anywhere else, when we go to like Airbnbs, hey, we have neighbors. Can you be polite? Can't do this. But like, wow, that's kind of
The thing is, and from what it sounds like, at least as far as what we read so far, is like it sounds like they can do it. That's the thing. So here's the thing: if you could find a place and it was like ridiculously what you were looking for with a wonderful price, would you just suffer through it? Like it's like
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't be happy. I would not be happy. That was like a cause. Like, this is my independence, my independence, my freedom. Not, I don't have another adult supervision. Essentially, why would I want to take up on something? Yeah, it's great price, but if I'm gonna be miserable, because if I found somebody that I really liked and I was hooking up with them, where would we go? If they have the same clause too, where are we going? Are we going to rent a hotel? Fuck no.
more than likely people are. So let's see here.
The comfortability of our homes, our own beds, like.
There's certainly some tenants have found no sex clauses actually written in their own tenancy agreements. Sometimes it's expressed overtly, at other times disguised as banned on overnight guests. Okay. We had one of those in our kind of our shared one where we're like, hey, a person can't stay more than like 2 nights in a row at our place. We had that as a kind of a group one, which, you know, it's not bad if we had an outing, everyone had a little bit too much, so having someone just stay over the night, it's better than having them be out and about
home when they're intoxicated.
Exactly. But someone staying over multiple days, like, that's not, you know, that's something you have to discuss and let us know ahead of time or something. But yeah, we had one as a roommate clause, kind of like that. Anyways, so Chris, 24, rents an attic room in London and shares a communal space with 2 other flatmates, siblings, who are also his live-in landlords. Ooh, interesting. Their parents frequently visit, he says, and about 4 months into living there, their mom overheard me having sex with my girlfriend and complained about it to them. His flatmate later slipped a note under his bedroom door asking him to not have sex in the house or host any overnight guests in general. I confronted them in our shared kitchen, and then they kind of went apeshit, telling me it was wrong to have sex because it's their house, which I think says everything landlords don't like at tenants or lodgers, like they actually deserve to be there. So that kind of sucks. It's one of those things like you're supposed to be, quote, renting a place as a communal place, but then I'm like, no, this is my house. Like, you have to go live under my rules. Basically, kind of the house mentality, you know.
Yeah, like the children aren't having sex themselves. Like, really? Come on.
So this is what. So Chris looked up his tenancy agreement straight away, assuming he'd be able to argue his way out of it, but it turned out it was there all along. They actually banned overnight guests, he says. They didn't even seem to have a problem with my girlfriend staying over until it was about sex, though. Chris is now adhering to these bizarre anti-sex rules as he doesn't have anywhere else to live. There goes back to what you were saying, Liz. Like, it's just like, it's going back to kind of what I said. It's like he has to just suffer because what are you going to do? The question is...
I understand that.
Yeah. The question is, how can this happen? The laws surrounding no sex tenancy clauses are basically non-existent in the UK. After all, tenancy laws already struggle to cover basic like protections from unjust evictions or rent increases. According to Kwar Sujin, director of the Witten Solidarities. Oh my god. Solicitors who specialize in resolving residential landlord and tenant disputes. Tenants with live-in landlords like Chris don't have a lot of rights. They actually nothing stopping live-in landlords from banning overnight guests. Those with live-out landlords like Lucy have tenancy agreements which afford more protections, but Sujin explains these are essentially just contracts, meaning landlords and tenants have the right to agree to whatever terms they wish, unless it's illegal. It turns out sex bans are legally sound somehow. The law does provide some protections to the tenants because the landlord needs a court order to evict them for this, Sujin says, meaning a judge would need to agree that with the landlord that the tenant's having sex in his own home is a problem. That's funny. to evict them for that, you would have to go to court. Like they're having sex in my house, and that's a problem. Why?
I guess that will allow for opportunities to have sex in public, open public, because where are they going to go to have sex? I think that's going to be a problem. That's absolutely going to be a problem.
Oh, continuing, the problem is landlords don't even need to resort to this. As Nick Ballard, head of organizers at Acorn, tells Vice, thanks to the no-fault eviction, the ones that UK government has repeatedly promised and failed to ban, landlords can't say they're evicting you for having sex, but they can boot you out regardless, without any requirements for a reason. Landlords don't need to admit they're making a tenant homeless because they are a top shagger, so they can just evict you for no reason.
You're shagging. Out.
Oh
boy.
So this is what happened to...
That's absolutely crazy. I don't understand that.
Because at least in America, we've talked about the evictions, stuff like that in the United States. And there is still some fights between landlords and tenants here, but it's they having this, what is it called, a no fault eviction. Whew. Just like, yeah, I'm kicking you out.
I don't care about making you homeless. I don't care. That sucks. That's shitty.
So
it's a good thing to be in America, because if they can't evict you unless they have to actually find a reason. So they have to actually have a valid reason why they're making you homeless.
So this is something that brand manager Kai, 33, has feared greatly in the past. He had 2 different landlords try to ban or restrict sex in the property he privately rented. One landlord made a comment about the queens of men, the queues of men, always outside the house. It's safe to say I did not make people queue to fuck me, and the comment felt homophobic. Kai tells Vice they also suggest that having an active sex life puts people and property at risk, so I moved out. The interrogation didn't stop there, though. They then tried to tell me there was a silicone lube marks on the floor, which I've never spilled on the floor in my life, says Kai. I contested, letting them know that silicone lube would actually turn a wood floor into an ice rink, and they let it go. In another property, his landlord asked him how many men were staying at the house for how long. Due to the tenancy being for only one person, I ended up leaving because of the weird fixations of my lifestyle, he added. Bartlett says tenants have a legal right to a quiet enjoyment of their home, meaning landlords can't interfere with their tenants' daily life. Sex isn't written into that right specifically, perhaps because no one ever expects landlords to be so bothered about everyone's sex habits, but most of us would file sex under enjoyment, so it could be a branch. In fact, even a breach. In fact, even the World Health Organization considers sex to be part of our overall quality of life, as important as social activity, sleep quality, and ironically, our home environment. But
if the WHO says it's a good idea, maybe we should be listen to bits and pieces. But again, why is that our landlord to have such an infatuation of our sex life?
So, but Ballard adds that ultimately, as long as no fault eviction exists, landlords will have the power to evict tenants if they don't approve of their sex lives, regardless. The controlled landlords are wielding over their sex lives of their tenants speaks how little protections renters have in the current market. Rising anti-sex sentiments and lack of housing protections are both products of failing capitalist systems, and now they're working hand in hand to hemorrhage people. What's next? Sex applications, fees per one-night stands. Actually, let's not give them ideas. Damn.
No kidding.
Like, oh, you're gonna have a sex partner? It's gonna be a $100 fee.
Wow. That's crazy and astronomical. Like, don't give them these ideas. Why is there such an anti-sex thing now going on? Because they're not having sex themselves. That's why, and they're punishing the rest of the world. Like, this is crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I think it goes back to the idea of landlord, because the online joke is that landlords are bad. That's always been the thing about how people.
They're just making it worse. They're on the very end of the tipping iceberg.
Because we won't deny it. There are some positive landlords out there. But it sounds like they're unicorns at this point, because it just makes it impossible to find quality places to live. One, we've talked about it multiple times that right now it is really rough to find a place to live, buying or renting. I know some family members, myself, have been trying to find places. It's just there's no place financially to go, and then on top of that, then you have to worry about the what is it, the landlord or whatever group that you have to abide by. You have to worry about that, and that's where you really have to be careful. And then I think we talked about it probably like a year or two ago of some people that were doing sex for rent clauses in their thing, which is highly illegal in the United States. But people were paying their rent with sex, and it was part of their clause. We talked about that a little bit because it was like, yeah, it's like that. It's one of the things that it's like landlords just have this like higher than one's mentality that you are on their property, you have to follow their rules, and just like do whatever they say. They just have this kind of like almost a sadistic, psychopathic mindset when it comes to because it's like
I'm glad my father wasn't like that. I hope not. He wasn't ever like that, but because he was a landlord himself. But like, I don't think my father was ever that crazy about that kind of shenanigans. But if they saw a dish plate, oh, they have an extra $50 for a TV. I'm jacking up the rent.
The thing Liz doesn't know, he was the secret evil landlord in the area.
Maybe he was, and I didn't know it.
It's one of those like the child rose-colored glasses, like you just you only remember what you do from like an adult. Like, wait a second, they weren't that good at people at all.
Okay, anybody who had my father for a landlord, let me know. But of course, he had managers on site for his last one, and the other one he was the manager and landlord, but we lived like a good 30 minutes away from it, so like it wasn't like we weren't there, and cameras weren't a thing per se back then in the 90s.
Anyway, going back a little bit as far as this whole situation that's been happening, I feel bad for them because definitely it is, like you mentioned, it is kind of a facet of life. Mostly when people are around this age, they're going to uni, college, things like that. They are escaping their the home for the first time, leaving their home, the nest, living their own life to then kind of be from one nest to another person's nest, basically.
Exactly. It's like they're not given the freedom anymore. What freedom do they have?
Actually, you're actually paying someone to reduce your freedom. Yeah,
literally. Oh, you can't have sex, you can't have parties, you can't have music after 11. You can't do anything. You can't drink. Oh, there's a no drinking clause too.
Basically, there's basically
I would hold the landlords to it. So if I can't drink, you can't drink.
Well, it's their house, Liz. They can do what they want.
I don't care. They can't have sex either.
Oh, now it's their law. They can kick you out.
I don't care. I'm gonna push it back on them.
Well, the thing is,
get away with this. You can't be on your hypey horse and
the thing is, the thing is, they can, Liz. The thing is, you'll be out in the streets and they get to be in their home. That's the thing that's wrong with this. It's like, as much as you want to push back, the thing is, when you push back, you'll be the one end up on the street, and they still have that.
I know.
So that's the problem with this situation. It's like, I like that you're trying to push back, but there's no reason to push back because.
Well, that's how I am. I do push back. I like to push the buttons. I like to.
And then you're the one to end up in the street, and then like, all right, now to find the next no sex residence, that probably is going to be worse. Like they found like this one person, like you have to kind of. What sucks is that you have to kind of suffer for a place that you won't be able to find another place. That's the thing, is like you at this point you have to deal with it. And should we really what's the word? Should we really be like just taking the minimum? No. Well, what other options are there, really? That's the real question, Luke.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. I wouldn't put up with the shit.
No.
It's your freedom. It's your freedom. Most landlords really shouldn't have a say so on your life, your freedom.
But sadly, they do.
Your independence.
They do, though.
It's just no. That's not right. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Be happy you don't live in the UK then.
Okay, I'm glad.
So there's one positive.
Though I am going part of the UK soon, so.
All right. Any final thoughts, Liz, before we kick you out of this house?
Well, then enjoy the sex, guys.
All right, everyone. Thank you again for listening or watching. You can always follow us on any of the podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. There's so many places you can follow us if you're listening to us. If you're watching this, you can watch this on YouTube. And you can follow us on any of our social medias: TikTok, Instagram. And so you can know what's happening and things of that nature. And yeah, so everyone, until next time, see ya.